Okay, my name is Geshe Michael Roach, and I grew up in America. I attended Princeton University. Then from Princeton, I was allowed to go to India and meet Tibetans. I studied for 25 years in a Tibetan monastery, and when I finished the program, my teachers challenged me to go to New York City and use the principles I learned to create a business, to see if those principles could create a more successful business. So I went to New York City. I borrowed $50,000, and we started a company that sold diamond jewelry. And we started with 3 people. Now that company has 10,000 people. It reached $250 million per year. We sold it to Warren Buffett in 2009. And now I go around the world and I try to share with people these cool ideas and this cool system that I learned to make success in your life by helping other people to make success. Yeah, it's a good question. So we believe that your mind plays a very large role in what you see in the world. So if you find a way to affect your mind, to plant seeds in your mind, then those seeds, when they open, they will create great success for you. It could be financial success, it could be a successful relationship, it could be greater inner peace of mind. But all of these seeds that you put in your mind must be planted there by helping someone else to do the thing that you want to succeed in. So that's the basic principle that we use. We teach it to about 20,000 people every year, and it's been very successful around the world. Yeah, good question. I believe that money is like fire. So you can use fire to cook your dinner, but also that fire, if you cannot control it, it will burn down your house. So fire is not a good thing, fire is not a bad thing. It depends on how you use it. And I think money is the same. I've made a lot of money in my life using these principles. And I like to reinvest the money. I like to pour it back into the world. For example, we have a charity for Tibetan refugees. It's 30 years old this year. And we help them to save their ancient literature and their culture. So I think if you understand these principles, charity or helping poor people or helping people in need, it's not what we call in America corporate charity. It's not 1% or 0.5% or something like that. We actually believe that the more informed your giving is, the more profitable your business will be. So actually giving to others intelligently is the engine that drives the profit of your company. Yes, and that's the cool thing about this system, you know. If it was a choice between giving, sharing, and making money, then of course you have to decide, would you rather share or would you rather make money? But in this system, you make more interest on your money if you share your success with other people. So actually, you're actually making more money by learning the principles of how to share with others. So it's not a charity, it's not even something nice. It's that you serve others and you will actually make more money for yourself. Yeah, it's a good question. Generally speaking, I think money cannot make people happy, but also money cannot make people unhappy. You see, so I think it depends on how you make the money. In this system, you will make much more money. You can make incredible amounts of money, like impossible amounts of money, if you understand the principles of how to make money by sharing your success with other people, by teaching other people to be successful. Your amount of money that you make will be far more than anyone else makes. And then this makes a sort of a piece, because the way you make the money is that you help other people to make money. So the system for making money automatically makes everyone comfortable and happy. And it's just great, you know. It's nice to have a large amount of money. We help many projects around the world. We help refugees all over the world for 30 years. And we couldn't do that if we didn't have money. And we believe we wouldn't have money if we didn't help them. So there's one guiding principle that we use that I was trained in for many, many years, about how to understand why sharing with others is going to make you more interest on your account, more interest on your investments, okay? And I've used it in my real life to make a it's the #1 jewelry company in the world. We own jewelry.com. It cost $21 million for the name, okay? And it's successful, so I think you can understand it easily if I use a pen to describe it. So if I ask you, what is this thing? You'll say, it's a pen, you know. And then I say, if a small dog comes in here and I wave this thing in front of the dog, then what will they do? And you say, oh, they will bite it. Then if I ask you, does the dog see this as a pen? You say, no, they see it as something to chew. Then if I ask you, who's correct, the dog or the human? You know, the human sees a pen, dog sees something to chew. Which one is correct? Then you can say, both is okay. Dog enjoys chewing, human enjoys writing. It's a both. Then the big question, if I leave this thing on the chair and I leave this room, at that time, if there's no one in the room, is that thing a pen or is it a chew toy? Then you can say, neither one. At that time, really, it's neither one. It's not a chew toy, it's not a pen, it's just a stick. Then if the human comes back in the room and they look at this thing, in that moment, it becomes a pen again. That's a proof that the pen is actually coming from the mind of the human. And there's some kind of energy or potential in the mind of the human that opens when they look at this thing, and then a small picture of a pen comes out and they see a pen. The dog doesn't have this potential. They don't have this seed in the mind. So that's a small proof that everything in the world, including the interest on my deposits and my investments, is not coming this way. It's actually coming from me. If I learn the secret of how to plant a seed in my mind, then I can create infinite interest. I can create huge returns on my investments just by learning how to plant those seeds. And the way we plant those seeds is by helping other people to make money. You know, competition is natural between people. It's natural between banks. Banks are competing for the same customers. It would seem that if I help a competitor, if I help another bank, which is trying to get to the same customers that I'm trying to get to, it seems counterintuitive. It seems wrong that I should help them, because it looks like if I help them to get a customer, then I will lose that customer. It feels like that. It looks like that. But in reality, in this system, if you help another bank competitor to get a client, even if that's your client, then by helping them, you plant a seed in your mind. And then suddenly the market expands, you see? Then suddenly there are more financial instruments, there are more people who can afford them. The market gets bigger because you've helped another person, you've helped another bank to find a client. There's suddenly more clients for both of you. And the market grows because people are serving each other, people are planting seeds for these clients. Let's say, is it selfish to help another person because I want more money? You see what I mean? Is that a selfish thing? So you have to examine how we get more money is by helping another person to make more money. When I help another person to make more money, that money is not taken from me, and that money is not taken from a limited market. We say that money is new money. It's new value. In 2008, the total value of the money in the world dropped by 40%. The total value of the world's financial markets dropped by 40% on paper. Nothing happened. Nobody, not suddenly 40% of the buildings disappeared or 40% of the people disappeared. The perceived value of the world's economy dropped by 40%. That means the economy is a perception, you see. The real economy is a perception. If I help another person to make money, that plants seeds in my mind, and I will see the perceived value of the world, which is equal to the real value of the world. It can increase by 40%. Then you have 20% more, I have 20% more. It's a good business. If you use money as fire to destroy people's homes or something, okay? If you use money in a bad way, if you make investments we have a short list, drugs, money laundering, weapons, if you invest in things which hurt other people, in this system, you will lose your money. Okay? Because you are depriving other people of what is valuable to them, their life, their home, their freedom. And if you invest in that, then we say watermelons make watermelons. Similar actions create similar results. If I use money to hurt another person, I will lose my money. My belief is that to change the world or to change people's investment habits, banks' investment habits, you must demonstrate real demonstration. They must see that they'll make more money. So it's not trying to convince them to be nice or try to convince them to be moral or try to convince them not to invest in companies that hurt people, because this has always been this way. They know that this is the case, okay? But if you can demonstrate that they will make more money if they don't invest in things which hurt people, then of course every sane bank will invest in that, So really, how to make that happen is that on an individual basis, you must demonstrate that you can use these principles yourself to become successful. You have to walk into a bank with $200 million company that you made by helping people. And then they will believe you. And if you can't show that, then of course, why should they believe you? So if you are a personal example of the principles that you're talking about, I don't invest in things that hurt people. I invest in people. I invest in people in need, you see. And I made $250 million per year company. It doubled every 18 months for 19 years. Then I sold it to Warren Buffett. Then you can walk into a bank and say, it works. You should try it. Okay. So I think on a personal level, you have to try it. You have to do small experiments with your own money. And then people can hear the truth in your voice. And